So I got a DM here on Instagram. Somebody asked me, Trevor, what are the 5 things that you wish you knew before you got into high ticket remote sales? So we're making a video on it. I've got a list here of 5 things in my little journal here that I wish I knew before I got started in the industry of remote sales. And I think this is going to be extremely valuable for you guys because, to be honest with you, I wish that I knew this prior to getting into remote sales myself. And if you're on the fence about starting remote sales or something like that, this is going to be perfect for you. Now, if you haven't already seen my videos before, my name is Trevor, and I've been doing remote sales for going on 3 years now. And I started this back in 2021. Over the process of doing it and over the course of doing that and also leveraging myself out of my position and starting my own company, I've been able to do over $1 million cash collected. And I also now run an agency that does $50K per month. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really care about talking about it too much, but I think it's important that you understand that I'm actually credible. If you want more of that information and you want to see, you can watch some of my other videos if you need to see like some stupid Stripe screenshots or whatever, but I don't really care. Anyways, let's get straight into it. The very first thing, number 1, you don't need to be outgoing, funny, extroverted, or anything like that to be good at sales. So for me, when I got started in remote sales in 2021, I was 18 years old, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I was very introverted and I had a lot of social anxiety. So for me, like growing up, like I wasn't very good at talking to people. I wasn't very good at communicating to people. And it was something that I kind of learned as I began getting started in sales, right? So the first thing that I wish I knew prior to getting started is that you actually don't have to be an expert at that, because that was one of the biggest things that almost had me not get started in this, because I was super, super nervous that I would screw up. I wouldn't know how to talk to people. I'd stutter. I'd screw up the business that I was working in, etc. But I actually realized as I got started into it, and this is actually going to lead into the second thing that I wish I knew, the less salesy you are, the better at sales you will be, right? So this perception of sales that I had is that you have to be extremely masculine, extremely aggressive. You have to deal with all their objections. You have to do this, that, and the third. And what I started to realize as I got better at sales and as I started learning more and more is that people actually in 2024, like people don't like being like pressured into buying, right? And so I actually used my introverted self as like almost an advantage in sales, because instead of being that type of person that was extremely aggressive and extremely pressuring to people that they had to buy today, I actually just sat back, I asked skilled questions, and I got really, really good at that. Almost instead of like objection handling, objection prevention in the first place. And I started learning things like tonality, etc., which now help me to this day. Now, the third reason, well, actually, I just thought of a random sixth one. So fuck it, we're gonna do 6. We're gonna do 6 reasons for today's video. But the third reason and the fourth reason, fifth reason, sixth reason, these are gonna be the real sauce on how this actually makes you money as a salesperson. So I think this will be really, really valuable for you guys. So stick around and check out these reasons. But at the end, since I just thought of a 6th reason, I'll also throw that in there. Now, number 3 is that your skill in remote sales is equally important to the offer that you're selling. So most people will tell you that you just have to get better at sales. If you want to make more money, you have to get better at sales. You have to get better at this, you have to get better at that, etc. But what most people don't understand is that the skill level that you have is equally as important as the offer that you're pushing, right? So for me, when I first got started, like I didn't realize how important the offer that you're selling actually is. And so for me, over my career of going from 0 to 12K per month in remote sales, one of the most important things was getting better at sales. But what was also just as important was finding better offers that had better leads and that had more things in their business dialed in, as opposed to just a beginner business or a business that didn't really have a lot of those things in check, right? And that helped me make more money on top of also getting better myself. And that's actually going to lead into the fourth thing that I wish I knew is the real skill gap that is required in sales. So I thought, like, okay, this is a sales script. Once I memorize this, I'll be good. I'll be a great salesperson. But that is like the tip of the iceberg. I promise you, even to this day, after selling well over $1 million and actually collecting $1 million myself in commissions and in sales into other businesses that I've started, like, I'm not even that great at sales, which is crazy to say. There's so much more for me to learn at this stage, right? And it just goes to show, like, there is a massive skill gap when it comes to sales, which is actually a good thing, because it means even when you start making 5, 10, 15K per month, there is still hundreds of things that you can be doing slightly better that can make you more money, alongside with reason 3, which is just getting a better offer to sell for, which I talked about earlier, right? So there's a massive skill gap. And if you think that you can come in and master sales in 3 months, you're out of your mind. You can get good at it and you can start making money, making 5 to 10K per month, 100%. But like, getting to the big numbers and going really far in this game, like, it's not even close. And so that's actually a good thing, again, because you can get to 5 to 10K per month and it's not like you're going to get stuck there. There will be like hundreds of more improvements that you can make that can keep allowing you to make more money. And that kind of like raises the ceiling of how much you can make, right? Cool. The fifth reason, or the fifth thing that I wish I knew before I first got started in remote sales, is that people will straight up lie to you on sales calls. So for me, when I first got started, I was like, okay, I'm going to go on and deal with people's objections, etc. But then I started realizing that people actually lie about their actual concerns and objections on the sales call, which was crazy to me, because I thought that everybody was good people and they never lied, etc. But I realized around like taking 300, 400, 500 calls, somewhere in that range, that people that had objections and I just let them go, that weren't actually objections, they were actually smoke screens, which I'll talk about in a second. Those people were actually lying, right? So for example, let's just say the I need to think about it objection. Well, in some cases, people genuinely do need to think about it. They need to process the information. They need to make sure that it's the right decision, etc. Now, you can think of what you want about that, but some people genuinely do need to think about it. However, there's a group of people that will say, I need to think about it, but they actually have a different concern. Maybe they have a concern about the offer. Maybe they have a concern about the price. Maybe they have a concern about the process of actually getting help, right? And so what could be an actual truth, I thought that everyone who said, I need to think about it, was just being honest about that. Some people were, but most people weren't. And it's because I thought that people wouldn't lie on sales calls, but they actually do. And so in this day and age, you have to dig a little bit deeper to find out what the true objection is and the true concern is, and then solve it from there, right? And I wish I learned that earlier, because I pretty much let my first like 200 to 300 calls. I could have probably been closing at like a 10 to 20% higher rate because of this, right? So that would have been a little bit more money. Can't complain about that. And then lastly here is the sixth reason, which is the bonus that I talked about earlier, and that it's learning from the right person is one of the best decisions that you can ever make. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because I'm not saying that you should go out and buy some sort of shitty online course that you just go and join and all the information flies over your head. I'm not saying to do that. But I am saying working with a mentor and getting one-on-one coaching and one-on-one mentorship and one-on-one help, that is extremely valuable, right? Going through YouTube, watching a bunch of videos, that's going to take you too much time. And then going through a course, guys, if we're being honest, nobody learns by just sitting there and watching a course. 90% of the material just goes right over your head and you end up forgetting it anyways. The way that people actually learn is in a community and through one-on-one help from somebody who has already done what they are looking to accomplish, right? And so for me, one of the most valuable things that I picked up partway through my sales career was actually working one-on-one with a mentor that helped me. And so that allowed me to go in and learn from somebody who had already done what I was looking to accomplish. And then it helped me out and it helped me accelerate the process like midway through my sales journey, right? And I wish, to be honest, I also did the same thing when I first got started with getting started in the space, because it probably could have helped me avoid some pitfalls and kind of speed up the process of getting better at sales, right? Like I could have understood that people lie on sales calls earlier, like reason number 5. So with that being said, speaking of the fact of working one-on-one with somebody, if this video resonated with you and you're like, hey, Trevor, I love it. Like I am interested in working one-on-one with somebody. I see how remote sales can help me. I do want to let you know that I do offer one-on-one coaching myself, because I hate seeing people going and buying shitty online courses, spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just for it to not work, because nobody learns by working with an online course, right? So in doing one-on-one help with my clients who I'm already serving a good amount of people and they're all crushing it, we go in first and we help you understand the skill of sales. So you go and understand that. Then I actually go in and help my clients land their own position. So I coach you through that entire process on how to do that. And I also connect you with people. And then the third thing is, once you've landed a position, maybe you start making a little bit of money. That's where I'm going to go in and help you improve your sales skill so that you can keep making more money. And then if you so choose as well, I can help you as well transition into eventually running your own business long term, right? So if that's something that you'd be potentially interested in, you can check out the link in the description and jump on a quick call with myself to see if I can actually help you out. But other than that, this was 5, well, technically 6 reasons or 6 things that I wish I knew prior to starting remote sales that if I knew would have helped me out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed.